If you ain't watching my man Tyler on Hunter Ridge Outdoors, you ain't watching nothing good.
I have heard of Hunter Ridge Outdoors. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels.
I'm encouraging you to go over to his YouTube channel and support him like we do as within the Brotherhood.
Let's go! Let's do it! You good? Oh, God. That's awesome. Oh, yeah.
Get it, old boy. Yeah.
What you think about going to Hunter Ridge Outdoors? What's up? Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Wow.
What's going on, guys? Tyler Raymond with Hunter Ridge Outdoors. Unfortunately, once again, this turkey season, I was, or I would say it was not the Lord's will for me to bag a turkey this year. But once again, we got really good footage and definitely learned a lot as this turkey season went on. And I can't say it wasn't a good season. It was. The good Lord kept us safe. We learned a lot, we made memories, and that's the best thing about it, y'all, and that's the main thing. But like I said, we got some good footage, and I guess we'll go ahead and just get into the first hunt of the year, actually. So we went up to one of our leases, and we went up there, sat up in one of the food plots, and you didn't see anything, didn't get any footage of that. Then we decided to walk on towards the other food plots about 150, 200 yards away from the other one we were just at. And we walked on a little bit and we saw some scratches. So we knew there were turkeys in there. I was like, sure that there's got to be some in there, right? So me and Jonathan, we walk on down there. There's scratches all through the trail. And we hear a gobble. And he's pretty far off. Maybe 150, 200 yards away. And then we heard a gobble again. So we was like, you know what? Let's just go and sit. Alright, y'all, we're turkey hunting. We sat at the big food plot just a few minutes ago. We're over here now in the middle of the woods. We just heard a gobble. A good distance away, straight out. So my man John Boy here going to try to call him in. So. You ready to get me in? You ready? Alright. Alright, y'all stay in touch. About an hour, or no, excuse me, about 45 minutes to an hour goes by, and we didn't hear anything for a while, and I decided to get the little call out, and it wasn't a gobble that responded, but it was a turkey. I had called in a hen, and I knew I could hear her, and she was coming from behind me, and she was coming in a hurry. Never did see her, but we heard her, and she yelped after I yelped at her, which was pretty cool. So that means this boy can call one in. Unfortunately, it wasn't a gobbler, though. So unfortunately, nothing, was meant to be that day. So then I decided to go the next day, actually, and I've got a long road ahead of me, and I've still got a lot to learn in the turkey woods. Pretty much the worst thing you ever want to experience is busting some. But I got in there, and I literally, it was turkey heaven. I went in there, sat for a little bit, but before I sat, I already heard hens yelping. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm right in the middle of them. There's one in front of me and one behind me yelping. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, me being a knucklehead, I decided not to sit any longer, and I decided to leave. And by the time I left, I was leaving, going to the trail, go over the gate. 2 turkeys were coming. And I have no idea if they were toms or hens, but lesson learned, they could come in silent. And I've been reminded that so many times, but they could come in silent in case these 2 did, if they were toms or jakes or whatever. But that stung, so I was like, well, dang it, they're right. They come in silent. So a week goes by, and me and Jonathan decided to get up again and go, but we weren't able to go until 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So we went, and then I forget, where did we go first? Oh yeah, we stopped. Yeah, well, basically what we did was we went to see and see if anything responded. No, nothing responded. The one place where Jonathan had activity at was where he's wanted to take me the most. But unfortunately, people were out there doing fertilizer and all that work, so there wasn't going to be nothing going on around that time. So we decided to back out, and then we went to another place, actually, where you may remember from the last video, or the last turkey season, we stopped and you can see the beautiful scenery with the hills and the valleys and stuff like that. Well, we decided to stop there, and we glassed, and I didn't get any of this on film, but we're telling the stories. We go about 750 yards away. There's a turkey out and the reason you can only see it is because it's in the tractor tire trail in the Milo. And so we saw that turkey. Jonathan first thought it was a gobbler because he thought he saw, red on the head. But as the turkey kept moving on, no, it ended up being a hen. And we watched her, and she goes out to about probably almost 800 yards now. And we're watching her, and sure enough, there's a couple other turkeys out there. But we'd gotten word that the planter was coming, and he was going to come and plant beans all over out of the whole area. And I was like, well, dang it. And sure enough, we're getting ready to leave, and Jonathan says, dang it, and he's looking with the binoculars, and I said, what? And he said, there's a tom out there. And I was like, I said, you're kidding me, right? Nope. So unfortunately, we could not, if that planter was not coming, we would have gone at that bird, literally. We would have made a plan to go and try to get on him and those hens. But that didn't work out, unfortunately. So we went and got lunch. He got word that they were done working over there where we went to where they were doing the fertilizer work. So we went over there, and we knew there was a chance of rain. So, and plus with lack of time, we were going to try to hopefully strike on one and get on one quickly. We go down there, and we got on top of the hill, and he said, you stay right here, I'm going to go down here at this other side of the hill and call. As soon as he yelped, bang, he strikes one, and then gobbles twice, and immediately I thought I heard one. I know I did. I see Jonathan on his electric bike going, I mean, he is coming quick, and I was like, oh boy, maybe just struck one. So sure enough, he said it gobbled twice, so we went ahead and got set up, and stayed there for about 10 minutes, and he was like, I think we need to go more aggressive. I was like, yeah, with lack of time, let's go ahead and do it. So we decided to go to closer where we heard the bird, or where he thinks he heard the bird. And we sat there probably about 20, 30 minutes, and started raining a little bit. And I was like, dang it, this is going to be great. And then I see clouds coming. And I'm like, well, this ain't going to be good. And it was going to be, I knew it was going to be big time rain. Well, we, a couple more minutes went past, and I'm sitting there with the gun, you know, because you never know what turkey's in there, or if a turkey's in there. Sure enough, I see Jonathan, and he's, you know, motioning this, and I'm like, oh boy, he's coming. So sure enough, I see a big old turkey, and he's in there, and he starts kind of trotting, but he's getting in that area. So we see the turkey, and y'all, I kid you not, 30 seconds after we spotted that thing, yes, the turkey stayed there, we watched him, but no, what happened? The bottom literally fell. As you can see, I am freaking soaked. Me and Jonathan are getting drenched. But the turkey that you just saw come near us, we got good footage of that. Jonathan was able to call him in. That turkey was looking. But unfortunately, it wasn't no long beard. It was a Jake. Didn't have as big as a beard as the Jake I killed in 2023. As far as beard goes, that beard was a couple inches, maybe an inch and a half bigger. But body weight, he'd been my biggest bird, period. But I said, you know what? I come to get a long beard. I said, of course, Jakes are legal, but you know what? I was determined so bad, and I wanted to get a long beard. So I was like, oh well. But hey, we got good footage of that. Y'all just seen that. And then on to the next week now. So the next week, decided to go Friday morning, and before I didn't, like I said, did some of the stuff I didn't get, most of the stuff I didn't get on film because it has to be about timing and stuff. I got to the little field where me and Jonathan parked at a couple years ago to hunt at the property where all the kudzu and stuff is over there, where I killed a doe last year. I'm walking on the gravel driveway, and there's a little field right there on the left. And if you go in the woods, my tree stands right there where I killed that doe, the first day of the year last year, in fact. I look, and I see something flying down, and sure enough, it was a turkey. So I immediately squatted down, got on the ground on my knees, got the binoculars and looked, and it was a hen. So pretty cool to see a hen roost right there, and that gives me an idea that 2 times in the past 3 years, a hen has been right there, or if not roosting, right there close by. So it gives me an idea for next year to most likely just sit right there. You know? What do you guys think? So I sat there for the rest of the day, didn't hear nothing, or didn't see anything else, but tried locating some at other places, you know, nothing didn't strike. So, basically, it was on to one last hunt of the year. So me and Jonathan, we was able to go to his property that he's got permission to hunt, and where I really wanted to go, and he and I both. And I really felt good about this particular spot. And y'all, I kid you not, I wasn't even in the blind for 5 minutes. And I went into panic mode because I saw something coming quickly, and I was like, is that a turkey? I didn't think it was a turkey because it was running so fast. It was a daggone coyote coming 35 yards of me. Y'all, I went into panic mode because, you know, I'm not used to, I love my headphones, and yes, I need to get used to the sound without the headphones, but y'all, I couldn't find my headphones. That coyote had slipped away, and I felt like a total idiot. Alright, you guys, last turkey hunt of the season. You guys, just 10 minutes ago, I had a coyote come out here within 30 yards of me. No, I didn't shoot it. Why? Well, I panicked over the fact I must have left my headphones in the truck. I told Jonathan, I was like, dude, I think I left my daggone headphones in the truck. He was telling me, you know what, you ain't gonna So 2 hours goes by, and y'all, I am about to go to sleep. I actually dozed off for about 15-20 minutes. I never ever take a nap unless if I'm extremely tired like that moment, or if I'm sick. But dozed off on the ground blind for a little bit. John came pick me up in the bike. Of course, you know, we did see that coyote again, but it was right before Jonathan came and got me. But no, we did not see any turkeys. Jonathan was shocked. He said, as far as I'm concerned, this is the first time I've ever come here and not seen a turkey. I was like, I told him before, I was like, don't be surprised if your luck changes, because I'm usually bad luck. Sure enough it was. But no, anyway. So we decided to leave that spot, and we decided to go back to where we had that Jake encounter a couple weeks prior. And that's where Jonathan had his luck of 3 different gobblers, I believe. Basically, you say the cow pasture. This is where all the cows are at and stuff. But, you know, as we were getting ready to go do one last ditch effort to get on a gobbler, I just sat there and thought, I was like, you know what? The good Lord has blessed me with so much stuff already here on Hunter Ridge Outdoors and for you guys. And I hope y'all don't feel disappointed. It's not like I'm not trying to kill a turkey or a deer. Trust me, I'm going as hard as I can. And I've got a long road to go, y'all. I'm 22 years old, going on 23 in August. And the good Lord's got more opportunities ahead. But as I was getting ready to leave, I've been thinking, you know, that's okay if we don't kill one this year. Just to go is awesome. But literally, we got there, and I was excited. I was really excited to go put one last ditch effort into hopefully getting a big old gobbler down. Well, guys, that one place, we thought we'd see something, but just slow, huh?
Well, they had already ripped it all up and getting it ready to plant. They plant corn there, so it's a little different process, but the ground's already ripped up. I don't know, I think it's the first time I've ever been down there and not seen turkeys. Part of it. We're gonna try this place out. We got on the bird over here last time right before it downpoured on us.
Yeah, and I think actually you guys have already seen that footage. That was, well, actually I've not posted on YouTube, but it'll be in the same video, where we called that, Jonathan was calling that Jake in. That Jake came within 60, 50 yards probably.
Well, I was calling the gobbler in, and then
oh yeah,
I was
and then
calling Longbeard in, and then
yeah,
Jake come busted in there to see what's going on.
Yeah, that Longbeard. We heard that Longbeard gobble 3 times, and then sure enough, a Jake decided to come on through. And but we know there's turkeys over here, so hopefully we can catch on them pretty quickly. But I think all in all, me and Jonathan were just talking about it, y'all. It's been a crazy turkey season. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know for a fact in this part of North Carolina, people have.
Birds just, I think we had a little warm spell, and I don't know if it just got the birds breeding early or what.
That's what we're thinking.
Talking to different hay farmers who's, you know, very experienced in running over hens and nests and things like that. They seem to think the birds are nesting early, and I've got a hen every year that comes right below my house and nest, and she was in that nest. She was in her nest a week and a half early this year from years past. A week and a half earlier than she was ever.
And that doesn't mean you can't kill the turkeys. Is you just got to push more, you know.
Just got to hunt them there. But like right now, for a week and a half here, we've had no gobbling birds in the limb, and just been a different.
Boo.
Been a different way to hunt them, which is fine.
Yeah.
I enjoy it all. So
oh, exactly. And I was telling Jonathan, guys, I know it's easy, like for somebody like me to get discouraged and think that there are, and I don't understand, some people, some hunters are that picky where they will go on YouTube and just look for killing. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't watch hunting videos and just enjoying it. Look at all those birds. See, that's just, I'm a nature guy. That's just what I enjoyed that. Folks, I was just enjoying hearing the birds this morning. But you know what? I told Jonathan, I'm just 22 years old. The good Lord will, and He'll bless me with a long life ahead. And there'll be plenty more turkeys to be harvested. So, with my dad, my family, and this gentleman right here, we're can't ask for nothing better. We'll be getting on some turkeys in the future, but it ain't over
Right
yet.
here in about 10 minutes.
Huh?
Hopefully right here in about 10 minutes.
Right. It's just I was about to say, hopefully in 10 minutes. This is an awesome farm, but like I said, this is where we caught in that gobbler, and we had that Jake come. That was pretty cool though. Get to see him come in, and the bottom just fell.
Yeah.
Like, and that goes to show you they come in silent. And I still got learning to do, but we're fixing to find out what's going to happen.
Every bird I've been on and been a part of getting this year has been silent. Every single one of them.
That's crazy, isn't it? But, well.
Strutting, but silent.
Right, yeah, strutting, but silent.
In and out of strut, but silent.
Yep.
I've had birds, matter of fact, this particular farm we're on, the last time I come here was with you. The time before that I come here, I got on from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. I was on 3 different birds, way on different parts of the farm, and all 3 of them gobbling good, all 3 of them within 40 yards, never could get the shot. 2 of them I had a decoy sit out. As soon as they seen the decoy, they didn't like it, they turned and went the opposite way.
That's crazy. Some birds just don't like the decoys.
Yep.
But we're gonna fix them. This is an awesome farm. I love it out here. But we're about to, hopefully, like I said, about 10 minutes we can get on one, catch one out here feeding or something like that. But this is it, our last Hail Mary. By the way, this old man struck one last week. It's finally the one that he'd been after, because actually that bird was predictable. He was doing somewhat predictable. Shoot, they did spray out here or something. Nice cow crap, isn't it?
Yeah, just so coming on.
Hey, that's what you call good fertilizer right there.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's go look for some turkeys. Well, you heard it, guys. Jonathan said, let's hope we kill one in 10 minutes. After that speech, we struck one, or no, actually, we heard one gobble in the distance down at the bottom. So we're going to go make one last ditch effort. Oh boy, guys. Oh boy. We just located one. We just happened to be walking. I mean, literally, we just went that way. We didn't hear anything. We went that way towards where you, but I think you were telling us that where you saw that one, that morning.
I caught a bird up on top of that pine ridge, and he was within 40 yards of me. I could have shot 2 or 3 times, but he never would come out of strut, and it was real thick in there. Very limited shots, but the only time I did have a shot, he was in strut, and I didn't want to shoot him in strut, so.
Well.
Over an hour and a half on that bird last time.
Well.
30 minutes or more of that, he was within 40 yards of me. He just wouldn't commit to the very, I could see his head every once in a while.
Well, this is the same spot we just went to. We didn't even call yet in that area, and we heard one. We heard a gobble, so we'll try something.
That was 13 minutes ago.
Yep.
We got back to the truck. We were about 250 yards from the truck right there. So we're going to drive way around. It's about a mile all the way around here, but we're going to come in from the other corner of the property and see if we can get in there a little quieter.
He just looked at me like I'm not the quiet one. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we're going to have to. It's the thing though, you don't know if he's henned up or if he's just looking.
You never know. This time
exactly.
In the morning, 10 in the morning, he's more than likely looking.
But I was telling Jonathan a couple years ago, we had a gobbler standing 50, 60 yards from our car. At least we used to have permission to hunt. And, we used to lease. And my dad tried to help him, he didn't gobble. And as soon as he struck that gobble call, boy, he fired right back. So that could be what it takes, but we don't know. But All I know is we just heard a gobble. That makes me happy, and especially in late season, because these things are hard. Hey, you know what I just saw? Even Michael Waddell killed his first turkey in Georgia, first one in 4 years. That's how hard they are to get here in this part of the country, or the part of the United States. But oh doggy, let's see if we can get us on this. Let's see if we can get on this bird. We decided to drive back onto the main road, get behind or closer to in that area, because like this is hundreds of acres. So this is, you know, it can be hard, or at least 100 acres. So we're gonna try to get on this bird. And here's what we did not get on film. We got out of the truck as quiet as we could, and we did. We started walking the trail, or Jonathan started walking the trail. He starts walking, and all of a sudden he jumps a deer, and it takes off. And as soon as the deer jumps, he sees a turkey head peek out of the tall grass, and immediately, you know, he's motioning me to not come. And I couldn't tell what he was doing, but I knew he had seen a tom most likely. Sure enough, it was a tom. He was out there in the tall grass, but this was a different one. Not the one that we heard gobbling on the other property we were going to get close to at. So, anyway, we tried to make a plan to get closer to that turkey. Unfortunately, it didn't walk out. The turkey disappeared, and he caught our sight, and we didn't know where he went. Bam, he was gone. And we decided to make one last plan and sit up for a while and try to get on this one bird. And try some calling and stuff, but unfortunately, later on, we heard him way off into the distance, and we didn't. Jonathan had to go to work, and we did not have enough time to get on the bird, unfortunately. But that's I got footage of the calling and stuff that we were trying to get that bird to come into, but hey, that's part of it, guys. What can I say? It was a pretty interesting turkey season, and learned a lot. And Joe Drake, buddy, I'm taking your advice as I go. The more you, and this is for anything in life, not just hunting, but for anything. The more you go, the more you will learn. That's it for the turkey season 2025. Hope y'all have a great day. Trust me, a lot more videos to come. Fishing season's here now, so don't worry. Y'all will be seeing more videos here very, very soon. Y'all have a good one. Well, you know, folks, they do say it's not killing, it's called hunting, right? So, we tried to get on that bird. Actually, we got out of the truck to get on that one bird that we heard. And we ended up coming across the second one. And I don't know if he saw us or if he just got, I'm not sure what happened, but he just, that second bird, he just took off.
I think he saw us walking.
Yeah, I think he saw us walking, but that was two different birds we heard / saw now, so, but this boy's got to get to work right here, and got some other stuff for me to do, but that's part of it. All in all, I thought it was a great morning. We enjoyed it, and every single time we prayed, I just enjoy hearing God's creation wake up.
That's right.
So, and a lot of we're spoiled here in America to be able to do this stuff, and a lot of people don't get the chance to do it. But people say, "Oh, it should be that easy." No, it's not. it's a challenge, but it's all worth it, and it's worth the experience. But our day will come, and don't worry, guys. You know what's next. Deer season, so. Going to get on that now. But guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Hey, we didn't get a bird for you, and didn't get that much footage, but it was still a good year for us. We got on some birds. So, and but other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one.